Hi, my name is Brett, and I nominated my dad for All-Star Dad. I'm a twin, and my brother has autism. This makes our home very different from many other homes. My brother goes to 7 therapies a week and 1 on the weekend, so we are pretty busy all the time. When my mom gets home in the evening, she is very tired from taking us everywhere, so my dad takes over with Kyle and his homework. We are both in 7th grade now, so we have a lot more homework than we used to, and my dad helps him as much as he can, which is a lot. Honestly, sometimes I don't have patience, but my dad always does. I can't believe how much patience he always has. And I know my dad is tired a lot because he just went and is in remission from cancer last year. And I know from his cancer treatment, he gets tired a lot faster than he used to. But he does what he has to do to make Kyle get successful in life. And thank you, Dad. My brother gets good grades because of him, and, well, helps him. My brother also does sports on the weekends, and my dad is there to help Kyle if he needs it and to cheer him on. My dad either goes to my game or my brother's game, and my mom does the other game. He is also very nice with my mom, which is great, of course. And since she does all the driving during the week to school and from therapies, doctor's appointments, cooking, walking Kyle's service dog, Clifford, and whatever else needs to be done at the house, she gets a break on Sunday. My dad takes us to yoga therapy and maybe the movies or Chuck E. Cheese and out to lunch on Sundays. Also, my mom is great at finding fun stuff for us to do, sometimes through an autism organization for a low cost. And my dad never has an issue with it, even if he is tired from cancer. We go surfboarding, skateboarding, boating, paddleboarding, concerts, biking, and boomers sometimes. Last summer, my dad was so sick that we did not have a summer vacation, and I know he felt so bad about that, he could just not make it that year. But this year, because of that, right after we leave New York, we're heading straight to Florida to Disney World. My dad does not ask for help, so I have to help him on his own because I have no clue why. Dad had a brother and sister with brother and sister with cerebral palsy, and I know he does not want to burden me with work and just let me be a kid. But I love my dad so much, and watching him work so hard when he does not feel good, I have to help. My dad will ask about my day at school and my baseball games if he goes to Kyle's. He makes me the best veggie bacon and grilled cheese sandwich ever on the weekends, and sometimes takes me in the evenings. We get frozen yogurt and talk together. I love my mom very much and spend a lot of time with her, so when it's just me and Dad out, it makes me very happy. He is a very smart man, so if I'm having trouble with math or science or geometry, he will sit down with me and explain it to me and make sure I understand. I never feel he is in a hurry or trying to get it done so he can do something else. I feel his love for me and make sure I understand what he is saying and has great patience. My dad is a great dad, and I know to me he will always be an all-star dad to me. Thank you.
Wow, such an amazing honor to be here today. When I heard I was giving my acceptance speech after Brett read his essay, I really wasn't sure I'd be able to maintain my composure here. But 2 weeks ago, Brett and I were working on geometry when I received a phone call. We could not really hear, and we had to get his math done. So Brett had another assignment to do. He said, "Dad, I think it's a telemarketer. Just hang up." So I went ahead and did that. Oops. My wife was up early the next morning, saw the email that was sent telling us about Brett winning the All-Star Dad contest. No one was awake yet, so she couldn't talk to anyone. And as some of you ladies might know there, husbands sometimes don't always remember to tell their wives stuff. So she was on pins and needles waiting to talk to us to find out. Brett was so excited, and when we explained to Kyle what Brett had won and that we were going to New York, he started telling us what he wanted to do. He wanted to go to the 9/11 Memorial, where he would probably cry. He wanted to go to the Statue of Liberty. He was very excited. Brett and Kyle had to take their finals early, and this is no small task because as you heard, Kyle has autism. We try to study and get in as much as we can, and because we were short and we were losing 4 days for studying. Every day, Kyle has 1 or 2 therapies, and time was limited. Brett had his own finals to study for, and most of his classes are honors, so he had been staying up late to study. But both the boys knew this was such a great opportunity, they worked really hard to make it happen. Brett did not tell me he wrote this essay or entered the contest, so I knew nothing about this. So as you can imagine, it was quite a shock. After reading what Brett wrote, it was hard to hold my emotions back. Honestly, I did not know how much my son was paying attention, because if he's not studying at a game or reading, he's usually online playing games with his friends. Having a child with autism does present some challenges, and there's definitely more work to do with Kyle than with Brett. And my wife and I both work hard so that Brett doesn't have to. But he's been so close to his twin brother that sometimes he can't help himself. He wants to put on his daddy hat and parent Kyle. And Kyle's such a loving, happy kid, and they're so close, most of the time Kyle doesn't even mind, and he listens to Brett. They hang out with each other and still share the same room. They go to each other's baseball games when they can, and many times Brett ends up being Kyle's buddy on the field. I am a lucky dad to have twin boys who are such good friends, and I know they will always be there for each other now and in the future. This award is just as much for my boys as it is for me. They taught me how to be more open and patient. They actually bring out the best in me, and I'll always be so grateful and lucky that I have them in my life. There's no way I'd be standing here today without my father, who was the ultimate role model. I can't think of a single thing he ever did to tarnish that image. He was always calm and measured in his responses, and I had to do something pretty bad to make him angry. He always made time for me despite the Herculean effort it took to take care of my brother and sister with cerebral palsy. This is such a great honor. I want to thank the National Father's Day Committee for giving me this award and recognizing my son Brett for being a great son, brother, and just an all-around great person. Thank you very much.